Hello and welcome to Blow the Whistle.
Yep, it's a debate show with 3 topics, 2 sides and just 1 winner, chosen by you in the comments section below. And you can win a £10 free bet by getting involved yourself. What's up first, Tom?
First up, we're talking about defending champions Leicester City. We're now just 1 point off the bottom 3 after another defeat at the weekend. Jack, if they were to go down, do you think it would taint their title win?
I think it would, yeah. Listen, last season was a great story for Leicester and one they'll be able to tell their grandkids, but then they're going to get that inevitable question, what happened next? And it's a bit embarrassing for the players if the answer is relegation. This year was going to be about proving that last year wasn't a fluke, but it's just been limp and there's no real excuse for a team that's got 2 Player of the Year award winners in it and that spent a lot of money in the summer strengthening. It looks like they're not playing for Ranieri anymore, and if reports are to be believed, they've actually turned on him behind the scenes, and it just leaves a bit of a sour taste in the mouth. The way it's going, we're not going to look back and say, remember when Leicester won the Premier League? We're going to look back and say, remember when Leicester won the Premier League and then got relegated? For me, that means it's tainted. But you disagree?
I just think we knew at the time it was a crazy one-off, so now that reality's kicked back in, why should it taint it? For a club of Leicester's size, top flight status is relatively easy to achieve. 47 different clubs have had it since the Premier League's inception, only 6 can say that they're Premier League champions. With the parachute payments as well, it's relatively easy to bounce back. 13 of the current 20 teams in the top flight have been promoted within the last 10 years. I mean, ask established teams like Stoke or West Brom or Southampton, would you take a few more years in the Football League for a title? Of course they would. Likewise, ask Blackburn if they trade theirs in for a few more years in the Premier League, they turn to Slingy Hook.
Right, round 2, we'll talk about Arsenal. Yet again, their title bid has ended in February. Tom, with Arsene Wenger's contract running down, is it time he moved on?
I remember having this debate on this show earlier in the season where I likened the situation to a restless lover throwing away his marriage for the sake of a brief fling. The flip side of that though is if you stay in a relationship you're not happy in, your heart's not in, eventually you drive each other and everyone around you completely mad. Just look at some of the loonies we've seen on Arsenal Fan TV, that does seem to be the case. We all know the potential risks of getting rid of Wenger, but what about the potential rewards? Look at Tottenham. People thought Redknapp, AVB were harshly treated when they were sacked, but with Pochettino they've gone from flirting with the top 4 to challenging for titles. Change doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Jack, I know you've got your reservations, so explain them to me.
Listen, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't fall in the Wenger in or Wenger out camps. I'm unsure, and that uncertainty itself tells me that it's probably not time he moved on yet. Wenger is Arsenal at this point. He micromanages every aspect of the club, and I don't think there's a manager ready out there who can come in and take on that role. It's just too big a responsibility. Look what happened with Man United when they lost Ferguson. They still haven't recovered from that. And if Arsenal lose the Champions League, they're going to lose Ozil, they're going to lose Sanchez, and I just don't think they're going to be able to recover so quickly. Man United are still struggling. Wenger, there will be a time when he has to leave, but I just don't think it's yet.
Okay, third and final round, and we're talking about English managers. After a great start to the season, Bournemouth are very much on the slide. Jack, is Eddie Howe all he's cracked up to be, or should Sean Dyche be England's next best hope?
It's Howe for me. I mean, listen, Dyche has had a fantastic season with Burnley, but let's not forget that just a year ago, Howe accomplished a similar feat with Bournemouth. It was their first year in the Premier League. He kept them up comfortably. In fact, by March, they were pretty much safe, and after that, they just had a little bit of a slide. Before that, though, he took over when they're in League 2. 3 promotions later, it's no surprise he is the man regularly tipped to be England's next manager. It's all for me about the style of football that he plays. He's been responsible for some fantastic games in the last year, the 4-3 win over Liverpool, the 3-3 draw with Arsenal. He plays the way you want to play, he doesn't grind it out like teams like Gillingham, and that for me gives him the edge. Tell me why Dyche is the man for you though.
With Howe, you just get this impression that he found the perfect fit at Bournemouth. The one time he went elsewhere, ironically to Burnley, it just didn't work out for him. Dyche, on the other hand, should never have lost his job at Watford. And at Burnley, he's had 2 promotions in 2 seasons in the Championship, supposedly the most competitive league in the world. And he's clearly learned from the relegation in between, but Burnley have been great this year. 3rd best home record in the division. They're always competitive, even when they lose away. And you just look at it and you think, if Big Sam was judged to be England's best option by virtue of his ability to roll his sleeves, grind out results and get the best out of limited resources, surely the same applies to Dyche, more so if anything.
So you've heard the topics, you've heard the arguments, and now it's your turn to get involved. What do they do, Tom?
Now you need to tell us who you think came out on top in all 3 debates in the comment section below, along with your reasons why. We'll be replying to them all over the weekend. We'll be giving our favourite comments £10 free bets with Betway, and we'll see you all again next week for another episode of Blow the Whistle.